Have you ever woken up feeling unbeatable, fully in command of your day, only to find yourself crippled by indecision and doubt just 24 hours later? What if I told you that the sense of confidence you experience isn't just random luck or a permanent part of your personality, but something that fluctuates based on daily habits you might not even be aware of? Today, we're diving into how everyday routines shape your self-esteem and confidence, often pulling the strings from behind the scenes. If you've ever felt like you're not in control of how confident you feel, you'll want to stick around. We're about to unravel some simple yet profound changes you can make to turn those random good days into a lasting reality. Whether you're looking to conquer your next big meeting or just want to feel more assured in your daily interactions, understanding these hidden influences could transform the way you navigate every aspect of your life. So, let's get started and unlock the secrets to a more confident you. And hey, while you're discovering the secrets to boosting your confidence, why not give that like button a little confidence boost too? Smash subscribe, share this with your friends, and stick with me through the whole video. Skipping is so last season. Number 1. Honor your appearance. This isn't about obsessing over how you look or spending hours in front of the mirror. It's much deeper than that. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic emperor, once pointed out that the value of our bodies lies not in their appearance, but in what they enable us to do. So when we talk about taking care of our appearance, we're really talking about respecting and appreciating our body for the incredible tool it is. Think of it this way: when you start your day by choosing an outfit that makes you feel good and tidy up a bit, you're not just prepping for others, you're setting a tone for yourself. It's a form of self-respect and a practical application of Stoicism. The Stoics believed in living intentionally, and every choice we make, including those about our appearance, reflects our internal values. And here's something interesting from modern psychology that aligns perfectly with Stoic thought. Looking good can actually boost your self-esteem and enhance your interactions. This is known as the halo effect, where a good appearance lends you a kind of glow, making your ideas and contributions more likely to be received positively by others. So, by taking care of how you present yourself, you're not indulging in vanity. You're acknowledging your self-worth and asserting control over your life, which is exactly what Stoicism teaches us. Focus on what you can control. Grooming might seem like a small thing, but it's a powerful expression of self-discipline and personal pride. It's about telling yourself and the world that you value yourself and are ready to engage with life head-on. Number 2. Prepare for the day as an act of self-respect. You know, Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardships or suppressing emotions. It's profoundly about respecting yourself and making choices that reflect your values. This is where your morning routine comes into play. It might seem trivial, but how you start your day sets the tone for the rest of it. Imagine this. Each morning is a fresh start, a blank slate. How you fill that slate says a lot about who you are and who you want to be. By establishing a morning routine that includes grooming and dressing well, you're not just getting ready externally. You're affirming internally that you're worth the effort. This isn't vanity, it's an acknowledgement of your own value. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, talked about the importance of daily routines. He believed that discipline in small things leads to discipline in larger things. When you take the time each morning to prepare yourself properly, you're practicing a form of discipline. It's about creating a deliberate practice that reinforces your intentions for the day. And here's something to chew on. Aligning your external presentation with your internal values can significantly boost your confidence. It's like putting on armor for the day. not against physical threats, but against the challenges and doubts that might throw you off your game. When you feel good about how you look, you carry a sense of pride and assurance that permeates through every interaction. Moreover, preparing for your day with intention is a stoic way to remind yourself of what you can control. You can't control the traffic, the weather, or the moods of your co-workers, but you can control how you present yourself and how prepared you feel. This habit of taking charge of your preparations not only builds confidence, but also grounds you in stoic principles of focusing on your area of influence and accepting what lies beyond it with equanimity. So tomorrow, when you wake up, give yourself that time. Select clothes that make you feel confident, organize your tasks for the day, and take a moment to center yourself with a purpose. This ritual is your daily reaffirmation of self-respect, a true reflection of living Stoicism, not just as a philosophy, but as a practical, daily practice. Number 3. Focus on what you can control. It's a core Stoic principle that can really transform how you tackle your day. You know, the Stoics were big on this idea, especially Epictetus, who famously said, "We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." It's a powerful reminder that our control often lies not in events themselves, but in our reactions to them. So, what does this look like in daily life? Well, it's about recognizing the difference between what's in your hands and what's not. You can't control if it rains during your morning run, but you can control your preparation, like having an umbrella or a raincoat ready. This habit is about applying that mindset to bigger aspects of life too. It could be work projects, relationships, or personal goals. Let's say you're working on a group project and things aren't going exactly as planned because not everyone is pulling their weight. It's easy to get frustrated, right? But Stoicism teaches us to step back and focus on our own contributions, what you can deliver, and how you respond to the challenge. This doesn't just help manage stress, it empowers you to stay effective and engaged without getting bogged down by circumstances beyond your control. And here's a little something about how this ties into self-respect and confidence. When you consistently focus on your controllable actions, you build a sense of reliability within yourself. You come to trust your own ability to handle what comes your way, and guess what? That's a huge confidence booster. It tells you, hey, no matter what happens today, I can handle my part with integrity and effort. Furthermore, focusing on what you can control is essentially about living intentionally. You make choices that are deliberate and considered, not reactive or based on external pressures. This Stoic habit helps you create a life that feels more manageable and less chaotic, which is something we all can appreciate in our busy lives. Number 4. Reframe your weaknesses. This one's a game changer. In Stoicism, there's a beautiful concept that challenges can be turned into opportunities. Now think about that in the context of what you consider your weaknesses. We all have areas where we don't feel as strong, right? But instead of letting these spots hold us back, Stoicism teaches us to view them through a different lens. Take public speaking, for example. For many, it's a nerve-wracking thought. But what if, instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," you start thinking, "This is a skill I'm improving"? Just this shift in wording changes your entire approach. It's no longer a fixed trait, but a work in progress. And that's empowering because it puts you back in control. You can improve, you can get better. It's about fostering a growth mindset where every attempt, every small step forward is part of your journey to mastery. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, really nailed it when he said we should embrace what's difficult, because through hardship we gain strength. So, when you reframe your weaknesses as areas for growth, you're not just making peace with them, You're actually using them as your stepping stones. Imagine this. Every time you engage in an activity that feels challenging, you're actually exercising your mental and emotional muscles. Just like lifting weights in the gym builds physical strength, tackling challenges builds resilience and confidence. It's about turning what could be seen as a negative into a positive force in your life. This approach can truly transform how you view yourself and your capabilities. It's not about denying your weaknesses, it's about acknowledging them and then taking active steps to improve. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic practice of focusing on action. What steps can I take today to get better at this? It's proactive, not reactive. And here's the really cool part. As you start to see progress in these areas, your confidence naturally starts to bloom. You think, if I can improve here, where else can I grow? It creates a positive feedback loop that fuels further personal development. So next time you face a task that hits a sore spot, pause and reframe it. See it as your personal project, your challenge to overcome. By doing so, you're not just practicing Stoicism, you're living it, turning everyday experiences into opportunities for personal growth and greater self-confidence. Number 5. Balance your compliments. This might sound a bit surprising, but how we compliment others can actually say a lot about our own self-esteem. It's all about finding a balance, which is a core principle in Stoicism. Stoics strive for moderation in all things, and this includes how we praise others and recognize our own achievements. You see, when we over-compliment others, it can sometimes be a subtle sign that we're placing them on a pedestal, possibly at the expense of our own self-worth. Stoicism teaches us the importance of seeing the value in ourselves, just as much as we see it in others. It's about respecting and acknowledging everyone's contributions equally, including our own. So, how do we practice this? Start by noticing how often you compliment others compared to how often you acknowledge your own efforts. If you find there's a big imbalance, it might be time to reflect on why that is. Are you using compliments to avoid drawing attention to your own achievements? Or maybe you feel uncomfortable acknowledging your own success. These are common feelings, but they can undermine your confidence over time. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, talked about the importance of self-awareness and authenticity in our interactions. By giving genuine compliments that are well balanced with self-recognition, we build not only our relationships on a foundation of honesty, but also boost our own self-esteem. It's a way of practicing self-respect and integrity, key Stoic values. Here's a little challenge for you. Next time you compliment someone, also take a moment to reflect on something you did well recently. It doesn't have to be a big thing, just recognize something that you're proud of. This practice helps to maintain a healthy perspective on your own worth and capabilities. Incorporating this balance into your daily life aligns well with the Stoic belief in the golden mean, the desirable middle between the extremes of too much and too little. It's not about diminishing the worth of others' achievements, but about giving yourself permission to celebrate your own. This not only enhances the sincerity of your compliments, but also reinforces a balanced view of self-worth. Number 6. Tackle negative self-talk. It's something we've all experienced, those inner critics that can be harsher than anyone else. But here's where Stoicism can really help us make a change. The Stoics teach us that it's not external events that upset us, but our opinions about them. This wisdom is incredibly powerful when applied to how we talk to ourselves. Imagine this. Every time you catch yourself saying, "I can't do this," or "I'm just not good enough," you're essentially agreeing with those negative thoughts. But what if you questioned them instead? What if you asked, "Is this really true? Can I see this differently?" This is what the Stoic philosopher Epictetus would encourage us to do. By scrutinizing our negative self-talk, we can challenge its accuracy and often its usefulness. Let's break it down a bit. Negative self-talk usually falls into a few categories: catastrophizing, overgeneralizing, or focusing only on the negatives. For instance, if you make a minor mistake and think, "I always mess things up," that's overgeneralizing and probably not true. What Stoicism suggests is stepping back and looking at the evidence. Have there truly been no instances where you've succeeded? By questioning these thoughts, you start to break down the narrative that your inner critic is building. And there's more to it. Stoicism isn't just about questioning thoughts, it's about redirecting them. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often wrote about steering your thoughts towards more constructive paths. So when that negative self-talk comes in, redirect it by thinking about what you've learned from past challenges or how you've grown over time. It's about shifting from a mindset of judgment to one of growth and learning. Another key Stoic practice is to prepare your mind in advance. Each morning, remind yourself that you might encounter setbacks or criticisms, but that you can choose your response. This preparation helps mitigate the impact of negative self-talk when it arises, because you've already set up a mental framework that focuses on resilience and growth. Lastly, remember, it's a practice. Tackling negative self-talk isn't about achieving perfection overnight. It's a daily effort, just like physical exercise. Some days it might feel harder, but every day you challenge those negative thoughts, you're building mental strength. Just as a Stoic views obstacles as opportunities to practice virtues, you can view combating negative self-talk as an opportunity to strengthen your character and enhance your self-esteem. Number 7. Apologize only when necessary. This might seem a bit counterintuitive because we're often taught that apologizing is a mark of politeness and humility. But Stoicism teaches us about the virtue of sincerity and the importance of knowing when an apology is truly warranted. This principle isn't about being stubborn or unkind. It's about ensuring that our apologies carry genuine weight and meaning. Stoic philosophy places a strong emphasis on self-awareness and intentional action. When you apologize unnecessarily, you might be doing so to avoid conflict or to quickly smooth over discomfort. While this might seem to make things easier in the moment, Stoicism invites us to look deeper. Marcus Aurelius, a key figure in Stoic thought, advised that we should act according to reason, not just to appease others. So, each time you start to say, "I'm sorry," it's worth taking a pause to ask yourself, what am I apologizing for? Is this apology really necessary? Or am I just trying to ease my own discomfort? This habit of mindful apologizing is about respecting yourself and the person you're interacting with. When you apologize only when it's genuinely warranted, you communicate that you take responsibility seriously. It's about acknowledging mistakes honestly, which actually strengthens trust and integrity in your relationships. Plus, it encourages you to reflect on your actions and learn from them, which is a central aspect of Stoic growth. Consider this. Every unnecessary apology might be a missed opportunity for a deeper conversation about expectations, boundaries, or misunderstandings. If you apologize without needing to, you might be sidestepping a chance to truly address and resolve underlying issues. Stoicism teaches us to face such situations with courage and clarity, not to shy away from them. And there's a deeper layer to this practice. By being more selective with your apologies, you also build your self-confidence. You learn to stand behind your words and actions, not from a place of pride, but from a commitment to authenticity and truth. This doesn't mean you become inflexible, but rather that you engage more genuinely, ensuring your apologies are meaningful and reflective of true remorse or the desire to make amends. Number 8. Maintain high standards. Stoicism doesn't just challenge us to endure, it invites us to excel. This means setting and sticking to high standards in every aspect of our lives, from our work to our relationships and even to our personal growth. The Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, believed that the only true failure is failing to live up to our own values. They teach us that our standards are a reflection of our inner selves, our principles, and our commitment to virtue. So, when we talk about maintaining high standards, we're not just talking about striving for external success. We're talking about cultivating internal virtue. Think about it this way. Every choice we make is an opportunity to demonstrate who we are. When you set high standards for your work, for instance, you're not just aiming to impress or to achieve for the sake of achievement. You're embodying the virtues of diligence, excellence, and integrity. These aren't just abstract qualities. They're real, actionable commitments that guide how you tackle each task, how you interact with others, and how you view your responsibilities. And maintaining high standards isn't about perfectionism, which is a trap many of us fall into. It's about setting reasonable yet challenging expectations for ourselves and meeting them with consistency. This is what Epictetus was getting at when he said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." It's about aligning your actions with your aspirations. Moreover, holding high standards helps us navigate challenges with more resilience. When faced with difficulties, a person with high standards doesn't lower their expectations. Instead, they rise to meet them. They use challenges as fuel to push forward, not excuses to fall back. This is quintessentially Stoic. It's seeing obstacles as opportunities to strengthen and affirm your character. And here's another thing. Maintaining high standards is contagious. It sets a positive example for others and elevates the whole community, whether it's your workplace, your family, or your circle of friends. It's about lifting others by showing what's possible when you commit to living virtuously. Number 9. Evaluate your relationships. In Stoicism, relationships aren't just about socializing. They're considered fundamental to our personal growth and well-being. Stoics believe in surrounding ourselves with people who reflect the values we aspire to uphold. It's about being intentional with whom we choose to spend our time and energy. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, famously said, "Choose someone whose life you can pattern after your own, considering it best to live with those who will benefit you most." This wisdom is timeless. It tells us to think carefully about the company we keep, because the people around us influence our character, our decisions, and even our sense of peace. Now, evaluating your relationships doesn't mean you need a drastic overhaul of your social circle. It's more about being mindful and observant. Are your friendships and partnerships encouraging you to be your best self? Do they support your growth, challenge you positively, and share your fundamental values? Or do they drain your energy, consistently bring negativity, or disrespect your boundaries? These are important questions that can guide you in nurturing healthier, more fulfilling connections. And here's how Stoicism helps with this process. It encourages us to adopt a rational and objective approach. If a relationship is causing more harm than good, Stoicism teaches us to have the courage to set boundaries or, if necessary, to distance ourselves. This isn't about being cold or uncaring, quite the opposite. It's about caring for your well-being and respecting yourself enough to make tough choices that align with your highest good. Marcus Aurelius wrote a lot about the importance of living in accordance with nature, and part of that is acknowledging our human needs, including the need for constructive and supportive relationships. He believed in the power of community and mutual support, but also emphasized that our inner peace should not be compromised. Moreover, when you evaluate and adjust your relationships, you're not just making room for better connections. you're also setting a standard for what you accept in your life. This act of self-respect sends a powerful message to yourself and to others about your values and the kind of life you are committed to living. Take some time to reflect on your current relationships. Think about the conversations you have, the feelings you experience, and the dynamics you engage in. Are they uplifting, challenging in a good way, and aligned with your values? Remember, in Stoicism, every interaction is an opportunity to practice virtue, and choosing your company wisely is a crucial part of that practice. Number 10. Stop comparing yourself to others. This is a big one in Stoicism, and it's a lesson that can truly transform your sense of self and your approach to life. Stoics teach that the only person you should compete against is who you were yesterday, not someone else. It's about personal progress, not external validation. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, often talked about the folly of attaching our happiness to external comparisons. He believed that such comparisons distract us from focusing on our own journey and virtues. Think about it. How often have you felt perfectly fine about your achievements, only to feel inadequate after seeing someone else's accomplishments on social media? That's exactly the kind of scenario Stoicism advises us to avoid. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to direct our attention inward. What have you accomplished that makes you proud? How have you grown? These are the comparisons that matter. It's about recognizing your own progress and valuing your journey, which is unique and cannot be fairly compared to anyone else's. And here's something to consider. Every minute you spend comparing yourself to someone else is a minute not spent on your own development. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote extensively about focusing on self-improvement and maintaining inner tranquility regardless of external circumstances. He would argue that comparing ourselves to others only leads to jealousy and discontent, which are disturbances to our inner peace. Also, remember that everyone's path is different. We all have different starting points, challenges, and advantages. Judging your own progress against someone else's is like comparing the performance of two different species of plants. It doesn't account for the myriad variables that influence each individual's growth. Here's a practical Stoic exercise for you. Next time you catch yourself making comparisons, pause and shift your focus. List 3 things you've achieved recently, or challenges you've overcome. This practice not only helps realign your perspective to what truly matters, your own growth, but also fosters gratitude for where you are and what you've accomplished. In conclusion, stopping the habit of comparing yourself to others is not just about boosting your self-esteem, it's about embracing a Stoic way of living. It encourages a healthier, more focused, and more contented life, rooted in the virtues of self-awareness and personal growth. So, let's keep our eyes on our own paper and celebrate every step of progress, however small it may seem. That's the true Stoic path to personal fulfillment. As we wrap up today's journey through these life-enhancing habits, remember that Stoicism isn't just a philosophy for the ancient world. It's a way of living that can bring profound peace and fulfillment to our modern lives. Each habit we've explored today offers a step toward not just surviving, but thriving by embracing our true potential and focusing on what genuinely matters. Stoicism teaches us that our greatest triumphs come not from the accolades we receive, but from the quiet victories we earn over our lesser selves. It's in the daily choices that we find our true character and forge our destiny. So, take these lessons to heart and every day strive a little more towards being the best version of yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you found these insights valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're eager to continue this path, check out our playlist right here on the screen.